Oh, just think about it. 2 New York City police officers who were there to protect us, shot in cold blood. The suspect, as we have been reporting, posting on social media that he wanted to kill police officers in the wake of the Ferguson and Eric Garner cases. Now, reports say that he was that fugitive from Baltimore, a gang member who murdered his girlfriend, but boasted about all this. What is happening? What about the atmosphere? Joining us now on the phone is Gil Alba, a former New York City Police Department detective who's worked on many major cases, including police shootings. Mr. Alba, this is a horrible tragedy. It sends a revolting message. What is your reaction to what has happened today?
Well, you know, the NYPD has been getting a bad rap lately, but, you know, you just think of these two individuals. They're not only NYPD, but they're human beings, and it's Christmas time, holiday time, so are they going to go home to their families? No. So they're really just like any other New Yorkers at this point. So this was a premeditated murder. And, you know, this guy's from Baltimore, so he could have went to any police department and shot anybody, but he came here to New York and shot, you know, 2 police officers in Bedford-Stuyvesant. So, you know, this is well documented. The fact that, you know, all these protesters and all that, and kill cops and kill NYPD, you know, that has an effect on somebody that's home getting festered up. And, you know, whether he has mental conditions or not, this was premeditated. He thought about it. He knew what he was doing. And he knew he was going to kill himself at the end of this. So it's really a tragic event that it's really happening in New York City.
Do you blame the atmosphere of what's been going on? As you say, all those signs, you've seen some of these disgusting signs about killing police officers. And Jay Adler, who's the president of the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association, has a pretty stinging message. He says, had New York Mayor Bill de Blasio been forceful from the onset when the 2 lieutenants were attacked, talking about an attack on the Brooklyn Bridge during one of those demonstrations, one has to question as to whether this murderous psycho would have been compelled to target our heroic brother and sister in New York's finest. And sadly, we've seen this before, the cold-blooded assassination of Eddie Byrne, the 22-year-old police officer, South Jamaica, Queens. But that was gang-related and drug-related. But are we in an atmosphere now where these nutcases think they can take out cops?
And, well, this guy is obviously gang-related because he said so himself. Ed Burns, sitting in his car, got, you know, shot the same way, right in the back of the head while he's sitting in the car in uniform. But that was over drugs, and, you know, that was planned, and, you know, the guy's in jail doing the time for that. This is a whole different atmosphere.
So how do we stop this? How do we stop this atmosphere and get a hold of this and try to prevent a guy like this from doing what he did with this enormous tragedy and strike at the very heart of what this country represents and stands for?
Right, because, you know, police officers are there to help the community. You know, Bedford-Stuyvesant is one of the higher crime areas, but and they're there to help keep the crime down, in which they did tremendously. So they're there to help. I mean, but so people, you know, look at it that way of the killings, and all cops are you know, use brutality and all that. But I think the mayor has to really appease all parties and stop, you know, dividing everything. And I think that's one of his, at least his problem that he has to do now.
Well, it certainly would be unfair to blame the mayor of the city of New York in any way, perhaps, on this. But the fact is, there is this atmosphere. This guy drives up from Baltimore, apparently, a gang member who's got a criminal aspect and a criminal background. From your experience, long decades experience in the NYPD, what needs to be done to calm this down and stop this stuff that is out of control?
Well, it's not going to stop right away, but I'm not blaming the mayor. I'm saying he has a hard job to try to appease everybody and bring this down and calm everybody down, so this doesn't happen again. I mean, the police now have to be totally aware of what's going on, and they are. You know, they are. But these guys were having lunch, you know, sitting in their car. So anybody can speak up to anybody. And it's not easy to stop something like this across country. But it has to start. It has to start from the mayor, from even the president of the United States. You know, to calm down both sides.
And it has to start from the people holding these demonstrations too, to send the message out. You know, we had the hatchet attack of the jihadi in October against 2 police officers. So hopefully, Gil Alba, the message will go out that this is not tolerated, and this is a strike that is at the very heart of what this country represents and our democracy itself.
Yeah,
Gil Alba, thank you.
Thank you
so much for joining us today.